It's mini quiz time once again. Chris Benson's here. Get your pens and papers at the ready. It is indeed quiz time. How are you all doing? You okay? I'm going to have to go make a brew in a minute. And why not get yourself a brew and a biscuit as well? Because for the next 10 minutes, there's going to be 10 questions all about famous firsts. That's what it's about tonight. Famous firsts. So that'll be interesting. I'm not giving any more away than that, but we'll get going in about 30 seconds from now. I've got all sorts on my desk. My desk is a mess. It really is a mess. I need to have a tidy up weekend, I think. What about you? What are you up to this weekend? But yeah, I do have stuff all over and lists of lists. I really do. Right, anyway, let's get going. Famous first, question number 1. What was the name of the first dog in space? So what was the name of the first dog in space? That's your first question. All famous firsts. All right. So what was the name of the first dog in space? All right. Question 2. Who was the first man to officially run the 100 metres in under 10 seconds? I don't know how many of you will get that. Who was the first man to officially run the 100 metres in under 10 seconds? That's a tricky one, but somebody out there that knows that. I wouldn't have known that, I'll be honest. So who was the first man to officially run the 100 metres in under 10 seconds? Number 3. Valentina Tereshkova is famous for achieving what famous first? So number 3. Valentina Tereshkova is famous for achieving what famous first? Alright. Valentina Tereshkova. What famous first? Number 4. Louise Brown was the first test tube baby. In which year was she born? So number 4. Louise Brown was the first test tube baby. Do you remember that? But in which year was she born? Number 5. Number 5 is a killer. Number 5 is an absolute killer because I don't even know if anybody will have heard of this. It's a bit of a trick question, I will say that. It is a trick question. Don't go with an obvious Beatles hit. So what was the name of the first single on which the Beatles performed? So number 5, what was the name of the first single on which the Beatles performed? And I will give you a clue. Do not go for a Beatles hit because you'll be a million miles off. Alright, so number 5, what was the name of the first single on which the Beatles performed? Alright, don't go for an obvious Beatles hit. Don't go for a Beatles hit, actually, yeah. Number 6, what was the name of the first car that the Ford Motor Company made available to the public? So number 6, what was the name of the first car that the Ford Motor Company made available to the public? Gets you thinking, don't it? These mini quizzes, they get you thinking. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to do the quizzes so far. Have a look on the channel, there's loads to do. Number 7, who was the first person to be seen on Channel 4? So number 7, who was the first person to be seen on Channel 4? So we're talking November the 2nd, 1982. The first person to be heard was Paul Collier, who went on to present Catchword. Do you remember that game show? But he was the first voice. But who was the first person to be seen on Channel 4? Alright. Number 8. In which city was the world's first underground railway? So number 8. Which city was the world's first underground railway? 2 more. Then we'll have a pause. Go through your answers. Don't forget you can pause at any time you like to just check your answers with your team or whoever you're playing with today. No problem at all. Number 9. In which country was the first CD made? So number 9. In which country was the first CD made? Alright. Which country was the first CD made? And number 10. Who was the first person to win £1 million on the UK version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? So number 10. Who was the first person to win £1 million in the UK on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Right, have a think on those answers. We'll be back after this old advert and we'll go through your 10 answers for today on Famous Firsts.
Cozy home, isn't it? But can you be sure that it won't have some unwelcome visitors this winter? Like Hong Kong and Asian flu virus, staph and strep germs, or perhaps newer strains of flu virus? Well, we know a mother will do anything she can to protect her home against them. That's why the Johnson Wax Biology Center developed Virex, the new antivirus spray. It fights the viruses of this winter, the winter of 1970, and it fights them in the air you breathe, in every room. Laboratory tests prove that Virex disinfectant kills 90%, 9 out of 10, of the airborne flu virus and staph and strep germs. The leading disinfectant spray can't do that. New Virex, it kills the 1970 winter viruses.
Virex, 51 years on. I wonder how it would have done with the coronavirus. Probably in the 1 out of 10 that it wouldn't have managed to get rid of. Anyway, time now to go through the answers. And remember, Famous First, we were covering in today's quiz. There'll be another one tomorrow, so make sure you do tell your friends and family. Question 1 was, what was the name of the first dog in space? That was Laika. I've got my brew now. Got my brew coffee. Number 2, who was the first man to officially run the 100 metres in under 10 seconds? That was Jim Hines. Jim Hines. Hold on if you got that one right. Number 3, Valentina Tereshkova is famous for achieving what famous first? She was the first woman in space. Valentina Tereshkova, there you go. She was the first woman in space. Number 4, Louise Brown was the first test tube baby, but in which year was she born? 1978, the year of Grease, the year of Saturday Night Fever. First test tube baby, Louise Brown. There you go. Well done if you got that right. Number 5, what was the name of the first single on which the Beatles performed? Although Love Me Do was their own first single, they performed as the backing band for Tony Sheridan on his track called My Bonnie in 1961. So there you go, Tony Sheridan, My Bonnie was the answer. I told you don't put a Beatles song down, didn't I? You didn't listen. Number 6, what was the name of the first car that the Ford Motor Company made available to the public? It is the Ford Model T. The Ford Model T was the answer that I was looking for there. Number 7, who was the first person to be seen on Channel 4? It was Richard Whiteley. The first programme on the 2nd of November 1982 was Countdown. And there you go, the credits faded and Richard Whiteley appeared. So there you go. And Countdown, of course, still running now, and Anne Robinson taking over soon. Number 8, in which city was the world's first underground railway? It is London. Number 9, which country was the first CD made? It is Germany. I always remember on a lot of 80s CDs, I think it said made in Germany. I remember noticing things like that. So Germany was the answer to number 9. And the first person to win £1 million in the UK on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was Judith Keppel. If you remember, it was on the same night that Victor Meldrew died in One Foot in the Grave, and there was questions at the time, was it all a bit staged and the scheduling etc, but ITV won the ratings battle that night, and on the night that Victor Meldrew died, and Judith Keppel was the first person to win £1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Right, that is it for this week, today's mini quiz. Back with another one tomorrow, so please do come back. I hope you've enjoyed it. And how many did you get out of 10? Let me know your scores, like you always do, at chriscbenson@hotmail.co.uk. If you've got anything higher than 6 today, I think you've done absolutely brilliant. There were some tough questions to try and catch you out today, weren't there? But yeah, see you tomorrow for another mini quiz. Bye for now.